Photoshop now offers the ability to copy and paste entire layers, complete with all their accoutrements. So, in other words, if you've got layer effects or smart filters, layer masks or vector-based masks, those get copied and pasted along with. So, imagine I want to replace this background behind the fish. I don't want to see these clouds. I want to see these flowers instead. Notice, however, if I go up to the Edit menu, the Copy command is dimmed. And that's because we don't actually have a layer. We have a flat image file. So all we're seeing in a Layers panel is the background. So the first thing we need to do is convert it to an independent layer by double-clicking on it in order to bring up the New Layer dialog box. And I'll just go ahead and call this guy Flowers and click OK. At which point, if I were to return to the Edit menu, you can see that the Copy command is available. I want to make things a little more interesting, however, so I'm going to right-click in the image window with the rectangular marquee tool, which you can see is selected at the top of the toolbox, and I'm going to choose Convert to Smart Object. That way, I can apply a non-destructive smart filter. And by way of demonstration, I'll go up to the Filter menu and choose Camera Raw Filter. Ought to work well enough. And let's say that I want to make the image a little more blue in keeping with the fish. And so I'll drag the temperature value all the way down to -100 and I'll click OK. And now you can see here inside the Layers panel, we have a non-destructive smart filter. All right, now I'll go up to the Edit menu and choose the Copy command, or of course you can just press Control-C or Command-C on the Mac. And then I'll switch back to my Skyfish image, and I'll click on the Clouds layer so that I can paste a new layer below the fish, and I'll return to the Edit menu and choose the Paste command, or you can just press Command-V or Control-V on the PC. Now the thing is, these two images are not the same size, and so the flowers are looking a lot bigger than they looked in the other image window. And that's because the two images are set to different zoom ratios. All right, so I'll go ahead and switch to the composition at hand here. And I will zoom out a couple of clicks by pressing Control- or Command- on the Mac. And then, just to make sure the two images are the same size, I'll go up to the Edit menu and choose Free Transform, which has its own shortcut of Command-T or Control-T on a PC. Now, if you see this alert message, don't worry about it. It's just telling you that the Camera Raw filter is going to be turned off during this operation. Now, notice that the image was pasted so that its top left corner aligns to the top left corner of the canvas. If that's not what you want, then just go ahead and press the Escape key in order to escape out. And then go up to the Edit menu and choose Step Backward in order to unpaste the image. And now what you want to do instead is return to the Edit menu, choose Paste Special, and choose Paste in Place. And that way, you're going to center the image with respect to the canvas. And you can see that's the case if I press Command-T or Control-T on a PC in order to re-invoke the Free Transform command. Now I'll click OK, and you can see that we have a centered image. All right, now I'm just going to drag the corner handles here until they snap into alignment with the corners of the canvas, and then I'll press the Enter key or the Return key on the Mac in order to apply that change. Now this time the flowers ended up on top of the fish, and that's because when I undid the previous operation, I went ahead and selected the fish layer again. But that's an easy problem to solve. I'll just go ahead and drag that guy down. But I do want you to see that this pasted layer is indeed a smart object and that the Camera Raw smart filter got pasted along with. All right, now I'll bring back my fish and I'll press Control+ or Command+ a few times in order to zoom back in. And now let's say I want a kind of blend of the flowers and clouds layer, in which case I'll go up to the Blend Mode menu and choose Overlay. Now these flowers also come to us from the Dreamtime image library, so I might want to go ahead and copy and paste that URL. And so I'll go ahead and select that layer, which by the way is a vector-based shape layer, and assuming that no path outlines are selected, then you can copy the entire thing just by going to the Edit menu and choosing the Copy command once again. And then I'll switch over to that Fabric Flowers layer, and then I'll go to the Edit menu, choose Paste Special, followed by Paste in Place, so that I paste the artwork into the proper position. And now it's way too small, so I'll go up to the Edit menu, and once again choose the Free Transform command. And then I'll just go ahead and link the width and height values to each other, select the width value and change it to 150%, and press the Enter key or the Return key on the Mac a couple of times to apply that change. And notice not only is everything exactly registered in place, but we also have a shape layer complete with its vector-based path outlines. All right, one more thing that you can do. This one's not actually technically new, but it got squeezed in without much fanfare in the previous version of the software. And so let's say I want to take this less than perfect vector mask that I created using the curvature tool in the previous movie, and I want to replace it with my pen toolpath that I created in advance. In that case, I'd right click on this vector mask here inside the layers panel, and I choose delete vector mask to get rid of it. And then I would switch over to the Paths panel, which by default is grouped with the Layers panel down here in the bottom right region of the screen. And then I'll select this pen tool path like so. And now I'll grab my black arrow tool, the one that Photoshop calls the Path Selection tool, and then I'll click on this path to select it, and I'll once again go up to the Edit menu and choose the Copy command. All right, now I'll click off the path to hide it. I'll switch back to the Layers panel, make sure that fish layer is selected, and now all I have to do is go up to the Edit menu and choose the Paste command, and Photoshop automatically converts that path outline to a vector-based mask. And just so we can see how much better it looks, I will click off of it like so. And that's how you copy and paste entire layers, complete with all the stuff that's associated with them, here inside the most recent version of Photoshop CC.